welcome to How to Repair. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to restore a gas barbecue that is not working correctly, and we're also going to convert it using a washing machine drum of all things. Now the first thing that's wrong with this gas barbecue is the igniter's not working anymore, so it won't light the gas and we're having to use a lighter. The second thing that's wrong with this barbecue is you have burner bars on the barbecue, and after a period of time these burner bars basically break. This means that too much oxygen or not enough oxygen will be getting through to the burning rate which it needs. Therefore the flame changes. You may have a lot of gas coming up at the back of the barbecue but not much at the front, and it's not cooking evenly. The next thing that we're going to do is convert it to a lava rock barbecue. Now this improves your barbecuing no end, because with a gas barbecue you don't get the same taste off the food as you would do with a conventional barbecue. The charcoal barbecues, the fat drips down from the meat, lands on the actual charcoal, burns, and it basically smokes the meat as you're cooking it. By converting it to a lava rock barbecue, we're going to be getting a much better taste on our food. To convert the barbecue, we're actually using a washing machine drum. One of the things I hate in life more than anything is this waste that we have. The washing machine manufacturers nowadays are welding drums up so you can't change the bearings. This means that the washing machine drums are scrap. And it takes a lot of money to produce and a lot of energy to produce these drums. So let's reuse them. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos on washing machine drums and other things that you can actually use the washing machine drums for. Now what we're going to do in the video is be cutting some plates similar to this, and the lava rock will actually sit on top of the plate. Therefore the heat from the burner will be coming up, heating the rocks evenly, and therefore your food will get a much better taste. Anyway, let me show you the faults with this barbecue so you can recognize the problems that you have. Right, we've actually got some serious problems with this barbecue. It doesn't light and it doesn't burn correctly. The spark igniter just does not work, and therefore I'm having to put a burnt piece of paper in to light it and get it going. Secondly, when it's lit, it's not burning correctly. So let me show you. So we'll turn the gas on just on one side and show you the way I have been lighting it in the past. And that's the way I had to light the barbecue before. And as you can see here, I don't know if you can see the flame in this light, we've got a lot of yellow flame appearing at the back of the barbecue here. I'm going to dismantle this now so you can actually see it clearly. So using a set of gloves so I don't burn my hand. I'm going to take these off. These parts we're going to keep. These burner covers have become seriously corroded over the years and need replacing. Now if you wanted to keep it a standard gas barbecue, you could actually use the flat plate from a washing machine and actually cut it to this specific shape and replace them. And as you can see, the barbecue needs a very good clean. That's why I had all the cleaning agent out. Now we've got it all dismantled, you can see every bar has got cracks on it. And we'll go to light it now. And you can see here where the actual oxygen is actually not making the correct burn rate. There's too much oxygen present there, and we're getting yellow flames all over the place. We'll turn all these on. And as you can see, this bar is the only one that's actually burning reasonably. All the others, a lot of yellow taking place, and they're not burning correctly. As you can see, the burner bars we've got are extendable. So we can actually slide them out, and this will actually allow us to get the correct length for the actual barbecue. Now the first thing I'm going to do with this barbecue is completely strip it down. I'm not going to bore you with it. It's only a cleaning process. We're going to clean up all the fat in the bottom, and then we're going to replace the burner bars and replace the ignition switch. The ignition switch is quite straightforward. You normally have 1, 2, 3 or 4 outlets depending on how many burner bars you have that have igniters next to them. Those are the igniters down the bottom there. Right, the first thing, now that this is completely cooled down, we need to remove the burner bars before I start cleaning. It's going to make it easy. On some of the kits, depending on which ones you buy, they actually come with new brackets, so all we have to do is put new screws through. But to remove them, there is no point trying to use a screwdriver. This is thoroughly corroded, and I really would suggest cutting the tops of the screws off here all the way along, and we'll be able to remove the burner bars quite easily that way. Also, when you're removing the burner bars, be careful not to damage the electrodes. So make sure that you use safety glasses, and we're just going to, right, with a pair of pliers, just pushing the screw through on each of them, and hopefully we can lift this completely away in one go. As I said, make sure you do not damage any of the igniters in any way, shape or form. So that's up. A bit tricky trying to do them all at once, but we're trying to keep this bar intact, otherwise I've got to fabricate a new one. And there we go. Right, next I'm going to remove these brackets, as I'm going to put new ones on. You can actually make these brackets up, and again you could use bits off the washing machine drum because it's quite a good gauge steel for this. Again, once you've got these off, you should be able to twist these off the threads. So now just let me spend a few hours cleaning this barbecue up, trying to get as much of the grease and grime out as possible before we're working on it. Okay, I've scraped off most of the dirt. I've got myself changed in some old clothes, and I'm going to use the Oven Mate. It's quite a good cleaner, and it's quite safe as well. You just got to make sure you don't get it on your skin. And I'm going to start squeezing it and painting every area and work it in as much as possible. You might need a few tubs of this, and as you can see, I've been working this in now for the past half an hour, and you can see what it actually removes. We'll never get it perfect. It is an old barbecue, and it all depends on how clean you want your barbecue, but I just thought I'd show you this in action. You really want to leave it a few hours to soak in, and then make sure you're doing it in a warm temperature. And we'll just keep working in this, and we may have to do it again after it dries off, but you can see how much it's actually removing. Right, now we've cleaned the barbecue up. It's taken a day or so just to let the chemicals cut into the actual carbon and everything else, but it's pretty clean all over. We're now going to fit the brackets to the back plate, which will hold the burner bars, and then we'll set up the burner bars to the correct burn rate. You may need to actually drill out the holes to the correct size of whatever the bolts are that you've got, or if you bought a kit, whatever the size is. So I'm going to put a washer on each side. So that's the full setup. The burner bars now go in and sit on top of the jet, and then we can bolt these down in the correct place after, and we won't need to put the support across because these new brackets have got bolts that will go through. Right, on the back, put the nuts on and then do them up. You might need someone to hold the screw on the inside. Right, as I said, you have a burn rate here which will adjust the flame. Just undo the screw and that will twist to fully open, or you can shut it down. This will allow the burn rate. This then sits inside the jet and you're able to adjust the length. Now on these it needs to be fully extended, and that looks good to myself. I'm going to rotate that over and we'll see how that one burns, and then we can adjust it up. Right, we've put the base back in so you can actually see the flame. I'll just light it manually. Both sides, there we go. And as you can see, the flame is a little bit strong. I think there's too much oxygen there. So we'll turn it off and I'll adjust it. Right, I'll just remove the bar and I'm going to turn this down, make sure it's at the right temperature, to about 50%. Put that back in and we can relight it. Although there is a bit of wind, that does look thereabouts the correct burn rate. I'll just turn it off. I'll try shutting it down a little bit more. Turned it down to about quarter, just to see if that's correct or not. Now there's a little bit of yellow appearing at the end, so I think I've shut it down a little bit too much. So I'll just take that back out, open it up a little, and now I'm going to lock it in place. And that's roughly about 50%. Of course, depending on the way your barbecue is jetted, depends on the burn rate, but we'll just try that again. But that is thereabouts. I'm quite happy with that. What I'm going to do now is adjust all the burner bars to the same level, and then I'll fit all the burner bars and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so we've got all the bars sat in situ. We'll just light them all. Now we've got a little bit of wind, which is hard to stop, but all of those are looking nice. And we can lock all these down and then put the bolts in to hold them in place. You'll see also how the, I'll do this in better light for you, you'll also see how the flame should be reacting on all of these. This wind is causing a little bit of yellow to go across, but that's normal. So we'll turn these down and let them cool off. Right, we're ready to permanently fix these to the grill, so I'm just going to lift them out and do up the locking screw on here. As I said, they're all fully extended. So just do that up, drop them back in place. I'm using a coach bolt. Insert it from the bottom. And I'm sliding this down fully onto the jet and then backing it off a little. Drop a washer on and the nut. And that's locked in place. I'll do the rest of these. Now that all the bars are fully installed, we can either fit the old covers which cover the actual burner plates like so, or we can use an old washing machine drum and cut plates out of it. and what I'm going to do is cut these up and actually make new burner covers in stainless. Okay, what we're going to do is make the splash guards for the barbecue out of an old washing machine drum, which is perfect for it. We're also going to make a base plate out of the drum as well to carry the lava rock. This is volcanic rock, which we're going to have on one side of the barbecue. You can do all your barbecue if you want, but I'm going to do one half with 2 burner bars, and I'm going to do the other half with lava rock. So I can cook fish and other things on top of the lava rock, where you get the smell of the actual food burning, which gives a much better taste. And on the other side, I'm just going to make some covers. So the first thing we need to do is measure the plate that we're cutting, and that's going to be 7 on one side, 7 on the other, 14. So we'll have a look at the drum here. And the drum, we've got 30, so we can do 2 plates out of one half of the drum. I've already removed the spider from this drum, but we're just going to remove the drum paddles. On some there are screws, on others there are tabs like this. Just lift up the tab and then the paddle will come out. Right, what we need to do is cut some panels out of this. So what I'm actually going to do is take between where the paddles were, the whole panel out. This will give me some nice flat panels to work with and make what I need to make. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut down the seams. So now we've cut all 6 cuts, we need to cut down the drum. So first one I'm going to do is the line I've done here. Roll the drum round, and now we can cut on this side, and this time I'm going to go reasonably close to the edge. That's 2. And that gives us 3. That actually might make a nice wind turbine. So now we've got all 3 panels, I'm just going to straighten them out a bit. Be careful of the sharp edges. And that gives us 1 panel. So as I said, we've got the length that we need, we just need to trim it up. We need 7 and 7, 14. Our panel is 29, so on this side I'm just going to mark 14, find myself somewhere down the gap, I don't need to be exact, and this should go down the line, just missing the holes. Mark that. Now I'm going to cut down the middle of the line here to give us our 2 pieces to make the burners. Right, now that we have our panel, I'm going to use the old one as a template. Just mark up. You don't need to be exact, you can slightly go over because you can trim it after once you start fitting. Right, now we've actually got our plate, but we haven't got the bend in it. And the great thing about this is it is very flexible. So what you need to do is find the middle hole, and you'll notice that these are ridged on one side, deep on the other. So I want the deep on the other, so it runs through. So I'm going to take the middle one there, which is 4, follow that line all the way down into shape. And that's pretty much there. And there we go. I'll just quickly make the other one. So I've cut the other one, and now we're going to fit these. There's a couple of slot holes on this side that drop in. That's one. And that's 2. Now what we're going to do on this side is actually have charcoal on one side and then the normal burner on the other side. So what we need to do is measure the distance between the 2 ridges, and I might even put a support bar in. So I've cut some angled bar, which is quite thick metal. It's not stainless. Stainless would be better, but I just haven't got any spare on angle. So we're going to put one piece there, one piece here. Now, it's very important that you fix this with the fat holes, in other words, the smooth side of the drum facing this way. Because if you have it this way, fat will actually hang around here and then it will catch fire. What we want it to do is drip through to the collector. On the burner caps along here, we've actually done it the other way round because we want the fat to run off these. So it's quite important. So I'll just mark that up and then I'll drill it. But before I do that, I just want to make sure everything's at the correct height. So the lava rock is going to sit here, and then we've got the griddle that sits on the top, and that's absolutely perfect. So we'll go ahead and fix that, and then we'll come back to see the barbecue working. So what I've done is make a plate up. This will hold our charcoal. We just need to put a little of it in. You can buy this lava rock at the website. Just make sure it's all down to a low level. Got that so it's sitting on a nice level. We'll put the other in. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of wind here, so there is a different burn rate to what we had earlier. So we'll let this heat up and burn off any paint, and then we can let it cool down and give it a good clean across the griddle. Got some great pad cleaners for cleaning these once they're cool, and they've got stainless built into them so they actually scrub and get down the sides because of the ridges. Now there is a bit of wind blowing, but as you can see, they're burning nicely. Thanks very much indeed for watching this video. In the next video I'll be showing you how to change the spark igniter. Due to the weather conditions, we've had torrential rain for the last few days, so I haven't been able to get it done for you, but I wanted to upload this video to give yourselves something to do during the coronavirus. Do remember, at the end of this video there is a link which I would love you to share, where our company is helping other people around the world when you can't get engineers to your house. It's called Helping with Appliances During Coronavirus. The link is on the description and at the end of the video. And remember, you can always support the website by buying us a beer. Thanks again for watching.